Welcome back to my channel, everybody. My name is Shaneika, and today's topic, we're going to talk about things I learned in my 30s now that I'm in my 40s. So anyway, let's get right into it. So I have 15 things that I've learned in my 30s now that I'm in my 40s. Let's start with number one. Making sure that all the decisions that you make are conscious, that you are consciously making the right decisions, that you are being intentional about the decisions that you make and the things that you are going to do. If you are not sure about a situation or decision you want to make, my advice to you is don't do anything. Because you don't want to do something that you're going to have to turn around and fix later and that you're going to regret. I learned that being indecisive, it causes delay, it causes confusion, it causes you to be double-minded. So try, when you make your decisions, let your yeses be yes and let your no's be no. And whatever you do, make sure you do all your research so that you don't have any regrets later. Number two, same thing I just said. Let your yeses be yes and your no's be no. No more compromising. It's okay to say no. I learned that it's okay to say no. Sometimes we say yes all the time just to please people, or we say yes because we don't want to hurt people's feelings. And then in the long run, we end up being the ones that's suffering for it. So let yeses be yes, your no's be no, and it is what it is. And don't always feel like you always have to give somebody an explanation as to why you said no. Set your boundaries, have a standard, because if you don't have a standard, you will fall for anything. Don't just accept anything that comes your way. Set the bar high and stick to it. Number three, love yourself. You are unique. Don't compete. Don't compare yourself to anybody else. We often get caught in this trap where we're seeing other people's lives on social media, but you don't know what that person had to go through to be where they are. And we know that a lot of things on social media, they are fake right now. So don't compare yourself to that. Take your time. Whatever your passion is, put your all into that and just focus on your life and what you have to do for yourself. Because the more you spend time comparing yourself and just monitoring or constantly strolling, looking at other people's lives, you are not moving forward, and that time you could be using to get yourself to where you need to be. Tip number 4 that I learned: take part in new habits that will help add skills and values to your life. How do you do that? You can read books. For me, reading books were helpful. Seeing things from other people's perspective, helping me to learn a lot of things, experience different people's cultures, travel. I really would encourage, when you are young, you're a young adult, if you can, try to travel as much as possible. Go out and see the world before you have kids. So that way you can have all those experiences. So when it's time for you to settle down and to build a family, you can say, you know that you've been there, you've done that, and that you have so many experience in those different areas or visiting those different places. You know where you want to take your family. So take yourself, and I also recommend doing solo dates. When I used to live in New York, I used to always go on solo dates. On my lunch breaks, I would always go to all these different fancy restaurants. Like, I would always just dress up and I would take myself out to eat. So treat yourself, solo date. And like when you go out to restaurants, or if you're sitting in a lounge or a bar, that's how you get to meet people. Have those conversations. It doesn't hurt to say to somebody, hi, how you doing? Please and thank you. I've learned in my 30s go a long way. Please and thank you. And my cousin Austin taught me that, and let me tell you, when I started to implement that in my life, just saying please and thank you, I'm telling you, please and thank you. Tip number 5, don't allow people to waste your time. You're not a doormat. Don't allow people to waste your time going over and over the same situations, getting caught up in people's business, gossiping. None of that is going to benefit you. And sometimes, most oftentimes, people know what it is they're supposed to do, but they just don't do it. And you don't need to fall back in that trap with them. If they know if they're gonna continue to stay in the same cycle, do the same things, and end up in the same position, you don't have to be the doormat to sit there and listen to that, especially when you've given good sound advice. Don't allow people to waste your time. I've learned now that I'm older that time is very precious because you cannot get time back. So don't allow people to waste it. We already give 8 hours to our job a day. Those of you who probably got 2 or 3 jobs, you pretty much give your whole entire day. And then you don't have time to live for yourself, be with your family, and do the things that you need to do to enjoy your life. And then the next thing you know, you're an old person and you're wondering, oh, life passed by. Tip number, we're at tip number 6, and I wrote all this stuff down because we ain't about to forget nothing. It's okay to ask for help. One of my biggest issues was I never asked for help. I just always felt like if I asked somebody for help, then I would owe them something and I'd have to pay them back. That's not always the case. That's just a problem that I have with myself and something that I have to learn to deal with. If you don't know something, ask for help. If that person you ask can't help you and you still feel like you don't have the right answers or enough to help you in a situation, ask somebody else. It's okay to ask for help. Seek out help. You cannot do everything alone. We are, as human beings, we are made to have relationships. We are made to be social and interact with other people. Stop being a lone ranger. You can't do it by yourself. Tip number 7. Whatever you do, even if you're working at a job that you hate, whatever it is that you do, if you're working on a project, do it with all excellence. Be your very best at it. Do a good job. It doesn't make sense for you. You want to, having a good reputation, having a good name, just being a person who has integrity. That's something that you want to have for yourself. You want to be a person of good character. You want to be able to, if you leave a job, that they can't say you didn't do this right or you didn't do it because you felt like you weren't paid enough. And I'm using that as an example because we often get caught up in that. Like, oh, I'm not going to do a good job, or I'm going to come to late work because I don't get paid enough. And this is not what I want to do anyway. Get out of that mindset. Whatever it is that you do, be your very best at it. Now we are going to go on to tip number 8. Stop striving and thrive. Work on and focus on the things that you can't control. Stop focusing on the things that you can't control because it's not going to change. It's just going to cause you to have so much stress. It's going to cause you to just be so bothered down. So whatever it is that you can't control, focus on those things. And whatever you can't, find other people that can work on it, that can help you to work on it, or just allow God to be God in the situation, and He'll work things all out for you if you put your trust in Him. Now we're going to go on to tip number 9 that I've learned in my 30s. Take breaks, rest, and enjoy the moment. I was so busy working. I was working since I was 16 years old. And once I started working, I didn't take time to rest. I didn't take time to enjoy my life. And I didn't take time to enjoy the moments because I was too busy partying, doing things I wasn't supposed to do. And I was too busy working, trying to make money. Where's all that money that I was working so hard to make? I couldn't tell you. Money isn't everything. Yeah, we need money in this world to get us, to do the things we want to do and just have a good quality of life. But enjoying the moment, make sure you're getting rest, reinvigorating yourself, taking care of yourself, and you'll be able to take care and pour into other people. Where are we going on now? Now we're going to go on to tip number 10. Your faith. Where's your faith? Who do you believe in? I believe in Jesus Christ, Lord is my Savior. And I trust Him for all things. Get your spiritual life in order. You want to make sure that you're in a place where you can't talk to a friend. There's nobody you feel like you can connect to. You know that God, your creator, you can go to Him with all things, and He will help you through it because He's a good God. It's that simple. Spend time with God. Faith comes by hearing, and hearing by the word of God. Get in the Holy Scriptures. Read His word. Find your identity in what He says about you. When you are weak, He is strong. So, let's go on to tip number 11. We are moving through this quick, and we have about 15. Be responsible about what you take in and how you're applying it to your life. What are the things that you're consuming? Are you watching TV all day? Are you watching scary movies about killing, violence, The Walking Dead? What are you taking in? What is the music that you're listening to? Is it about Hmm. Is it about shaking your bum bum? Is it about killing people and selling drugs? What are you taking in? Whatever you are taking in, whatever is in you, you're soaking into your heart, whatever's in your mind, that's the lifestyle. You're gonna start to project that on the outside. You're also going to start to attract those type of people and those type of situations and things into your life. Consume good things, and I even go with what you're consuming as far as what you're eating. When you eat healthy things, you start to shine on the outside. You just have a radiance about you. Your body looks healthier. Same thing. Same thing. So now we're going to go on to tip number 12. And this is very, very important. I had such a hard time with this, and I'm actually still working my way through this. Learn to be content, whether you have or you have not. Learn to be content. Very important. How can I make what I already own work for me? Because I'm sure sometimes we start to, because we're so discontent, we start to accumulate all these things, we start to buy all these things, and it's just, next thing you know, you have all this junk in your house, or you have all this stuff that you don't even use, or stuff that that are just sitting there collecting dust. Get the maximum out of what you already have. When it comes to your clothing, you can get, if you have a capsule wardrobe, you can mix and match your pieces. See where I'm going with this? Learn to be content with what you have. Because there's so many people around the world that are having wars right now. They don't have a home, they don't have food, they don't have clothes, they don't have the things that we have here in America. So let's just be grateful for what we have, and then when we can get more, then we'll get more. And another thing that I learned to do is that if I see that I want something really bad, like the Fenty lotion, for example, I'll keep it in my Sephora cart, or I'll build like a cart on Amazon, and then I'll just let it sit there overnight. I'll let it sit there for maybe a week. And if I haven't thought about those things, that means I don't need it. And that's how I figure out what I need and what I don't need when it comes to me shopping and buying things. Number 13, this is a good one. Invest in quality pieces so you're not constantly rebuying. I am so frivolous with my money. Like, I would like to say that I can be really, really cheap. Sometimes I just really have to stop myself. Like, girl, just splurge, just buy it. If you invest in things that are of good quality, you won't find yourself having to keep rebuying things over and over and over and over again. For example, when it comes to furniture, when it comes to a couch, I went through 5 couches in 2 years. If I saved the money that I spent on the 5 couches, I could have took the time to really get a couch that I love, that is comfortable. Same thing when it goes to a mattress. You can't just buy any old mattress. You have to get a really good mattress. High quality pieces so you're not constantly rebuying. And also, those are things that you can continue to use years down the line, or even sometimes with those furniture pieces, little things like that, or even sometimes with clothing, with jewelry, if it's not custom jewelry. For example, like this necklace, this diamond necklace my sister got me, like this, I can pass on to my daughter. This I can pass on to my granddaughter because it's a quality piece, diamond necklace. So it's just little things like that. It just makes sense to buy quality things. Now we are going to move on to the next. Is buying more or the items take away from the goals and what you ultimately plan to do? Is buying more or this item that you want to buy taking away from the goals on what you are ultimately trying to do? So we have to stop and we have to ask ourselves that. Okay, if I buy this Coach Tabby bag for $400, but I want to buy a house. If I buy this bag, that's going to set me back, because I know when I used to house hunt that when you have to pay for an inspection, which is part of buying a house process, I had to pay $500 to do a house inspection. So I'm saying just kind of really think things through. Is it going to serve you in the long run? Is it going to benefit you? Is it going to add to your life, add to your family, and your overall goals? Think it through. Now we're going to move on. Are you an investor or are you a consumer? If you have if you can make many streams of income, Avoid debt as much as possible. I don't care what nobody says, no level of debt is good at all. A borrower is a slave to a lender, and I got that from the Bible, and I've learned it to be true. You know when you have all those student loans, you know when you have credit card debts, you know when you have all your bills on auto pay, all those collectors, they come to collecting money and they always collect it at the worst time. So if you can avoid all debt and if you can pay for something in full, I advise that you do that. No debt is good. Also, stop worrying about what people think about you. People don't care. Step out of your comfort zone and try new things. Nobody cares. Yes, people are going to look at you, but so what? You don't know them. You half the time, you're probably never even going to see those people again. Do you? Do you? Invest in your health. This is a really major one that I take very seriously for me and my family. Invest in your health. Annual PCP visits, make sure you're going to your annual doctor visits, make sure you are going to your annual dentist appointments, make sure that you are getting your dental cleaning every 6 months. We know that your teeth, when they are not taken care of, it affects your whole entire body. And you know, if you don't have good health, it's like, what's the point? So you want to make sure that, if things start to develop in your body, at least you will know, so you'll be able to kind of prevent it. So just take advantage of all your preventative services every single year. Another thing I would highly suggest, if you're sexually active, to make sure that you're getting tested every 6 months. There's a lot of people out here that are careless. There's a lot of people who say they care about you, but they don't. But I don't want you to forget, there are sexually transmitted diseases out there, and some of them are not curable. So every 6 months, get tested if you're sexually active. Next, I would invest when it comes to your health. Cut back on sugar. I've learned as I'm getting older, now that I'm in my 40s, that eating a lot of sugar, it ages you. It ages you. It will have your skin dry. It will just having you look old with a lot of wrinkles, and it's not good for your body. It's gonna make you feel sick. You're gonna be irritable. You're gonna have a lot of fatigue, and you're going to feel tired. And it's because of all the sugar that we are consuming. Be mindful of the processed foods that you're eating, even all of those sugary drinks. If you can, I suggest cutting it back. If you can, just go straight cold turkey. If you can just drink water, it does a body good, especially when you're getting older. I'm telling you, as you get older, health is important. Health is wealth. Make your health a priority. Okay, you guys, so that's what I have right now that I've learned in my 30s, now that I'm officially in my 40s. So if you have any tips, leave your comments below. I would love to hear your feedback. Also, like and share this video. A lot of people can benefit from a message like this, and if I can just encourage you and let you know things that I failed from, then it can help you to get a head start. And also, I would suggest, especially now with our economy and our system, is that you got to get passive income so that you can work less. The goal is to retire early and not allow people to work you to death, because jobs, they don't care about you. They do not care about you. They don't. So if you can get as much streams of income as you can, have like your own side business, and I pray that you will find, that God would give you, breathe on your creativities, that He would give you vision and dreams, and that He would show you a vision for the business that He has for you and your family. Because the way things are going, we can't survive over just one job. And if you can have your own business, at least you'll still be able to get to live your own life, still be able to do what you want to do, and not have somebody breathing down your neck about it. Okay, you guys, so another thing I learned, well, I'm now learning, and what has really been in my heart and what I've been focusing on the most right now for myself and for my family is getting my affairs in order. What does it mean by that? Getting a burial arrangement together. So that way, when we do pass away, that our loved ones won't have to take on all the stress on trying to arrange our funerals and our burials. So if you can pick out, leave every single details on how you want your funeral to be, or if you choose to have a wake, um, get your burial arrangements in order. Another thing I would suggest is working on a will. You want to make sure that you have a will, especially if you have children, especially if you own a lot of assets, a lot of materials. You want to make sure that you don't have to worry, your family will not have to fight each other about those things, that, everybody will have direction on who gets what and how things are supposed to be allocated and shared amongst your family. Another thing I would suggest is retirement. Where are you when it comes to retirement? Because soon you're going to have to stop working. And so you want to make sure that you're going to have enough money to live off of for the remainder of your life. You're going to have to buy food. We know that Social Security right now is not enough. We know they want to raise the retirement age to 70. We know that they're probably thinking about taking away our Social Security. So we want to make sure that we have a plan for retirement. Another thing I suggest, what are you investing? Are you investing? If you're not, get into it. Invest in a stock, invest in real estate, invest in something to where you are getting money back. Your money is gaining interest on it. So that way you have additional money for retirement. That way you have money to, save to be able to do other things. So you want to make sure that you are investing, getting a return for your money, building your money. Your money is growing as you continue to invest. Even if you're investing $5, even if you're investing 10, 20, 50, it is better than not investing anything at all. Start investing your money. What else would I suggest? Yeah, so those are the final things that I'm really focused on right now. Just to make sure that when I pass away, that my children have nothing to worry about. If there's something God forbid happens to me where I'm not able to work anymore, I can still function and still run my household as if I was still working and getting income. So that's what I mean about making your affairs and getting your affairs in order and making it a priority. And if you don't have it together or you're not there yet, that's okay. But as long as you're working towards getting there and you start somewhere, you're going to eventually be where you want to be. But just remember, those are things that we have to get in order no matter how we try to put those things out of our mind. Like, I never thought that I would really have to set up a burial arrangement. I don't know why. Like, we all gonna die eventually. But I don't know why I didn't think about that. Life insurance. Good thing we're talking about it. Life insurance. Make sure you have life insurance. That money, if something happens to you, you can always use it to pay off any debt that you may have. So that way none of your debt falls onto your children. You can use that life insurance money for your burial arrangements. But yeah, God, those are my tips that I've learned in my 30s going into my 40s. Today is I'm officially 40 years old. 40 years old. And when I was 30, I was like, I want to stay. I think for me, I always used to say 33 is the best age and 35. But now that I'm in my 40s, I don't know, I just feel so alive. I feel like I'm happy to see where what this decade is going to bring. What is it going to be like now that I'm just so unapologetic and I don't care about what other people say about me. I just want to be the best me that I can be. So I love you all. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave your comments below. I would love to hear your feedback. If you have any tips for me, let me know because we are all on this journey together.